Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here, and today I want to give you an update on the Epic Relic and the new store situation. Several rioters have posted some additional information about these systems and their intentions, so I want to break down all that new information and finish off with giving Riot some feedback that might help their future updates go a little bit smoother. Before we get into that though, if you've been enjoying all this Path of Champions content, definitely like and subscribe. If you want to go that extra mile in supporting the channel, consider becoming a member for some exclusive rewards. Hit that join button down below to check it out, and let's get into the video. So to start off, I want to give a brief summary of everything that's happened. On Wednesday, they released their update. In their update, they brought this new shop, the Emporium, and they released 10 epic relics. The only way you can get those relics is through the shop. So as you see here, there's items, some you can buy for the premium currency, some you can buy for a new currency, the Stardust, and then there are some pretty ridiculous prices for the green shards or essence or whatever they're called. Now, just for reference, I'm someone that's been playing the game since the very beginning. I've always bought all of the cards, either with wild cards or the essence, since that is the only thing it's been used for. But even with playing since the very beginning, I don't even have enough to get one skin. That, paired with the fact that the golden reliquaries were going to take about 8 weeks of grinding before you can even get one, and the fact that it seemed like you were going to have to buy another rare relic to even get a epic relic slot on your champion, all of this got everyone in the community very annoyed and very disappointed with the update overall. After the update came out, immediately everyone took to Reddit or YouTube or wherever to voice their displeasure with the update. And so since then, some riders have come out to give us some more information, either commenting on posts or creating their own posts. Here is one of the posts by one of the riders, and it breaks down the whole system fairly well, giving us some new information, or at least confirming some of our suspicions. For one, you're only going to get epic relics from these golden reliquaries. They do have duplicate protection, and when you buy one of these gold reliquaries, you're also getting the item that contains that epic quest, so that you can get one of those epic slots on one of your champions. So at least you don't have to buy it separately. When you get a gold reliquary, you'll also get one of these. Also, they've posted that you can equip 3 epic relics onto one of your champions, so if you want to just play one champion and slowly upgrade all of their slots from rare to epic, you can do that. And if somehow you have every epic relic and you still buy a golden reliquary, you're going to be getting 3 of those consumable items to upgrade some of the relic slots on your champion from rare to epic. Also, they've said that they were planning on having other ways to get the Stardust currency with this patch, but that they weren't ready to get that out in time. I'm guessing that they were adding Stardust then for the monthly adventures. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about. They did confirm, though, that the 400 or 500, if you get lucky, Stardust per week is the minimum amount. There will be a lot of other Stardust given through events. Specifically, I'm guessing that the event pass will probably now have Stardust in there, and then any of the duplicates you get in there, since they will be converted into Stardust, will also give you a good amount you can use for buying new relics and those golden reliquaries. Now, the game does have events every 3 months, and so every single one of those events, you'll probably get a good chunk of Stardust, especially if you are someone that does buy the event pass. This did, though, annoy a lot of people, because a lot of people then just think that the company is being greedy and they're just trying to incentivize people to buy the event pass in order to get any of the golden reliquaries for those epic relics. Now, although some of these different comments or additional information they've given us is good to know, for one, all of this information should have been in the patch notes. It's pretty terrible that they launched this system and are completely vague on the patch, so we have no idea how it actually works. That was very poorly executed. I think we can all agree on that. I personally think that every champion should have one epic slot. The fact that you can get a epic relic, and even if you can get the one consumable when you buy the golden reliquary, that still means you can only use that epic relic on one champion, which feels pretty terrible to me. For future updates and future patches, I highly recommend to Riot that you actually put as much detail in the patch notes as possible. You used to have this same issue when you released champions, where we'd get the champion, but we wouldn't get any of their star powers or anything. Now, thankfully, they have changed this, so now when champions get announced, we do get all of their star powers so people can make a more informed purchase on who they actually want to unlock. Please do that with other systems as well. Really should have done that here, but please try to make a conscious effort to always do that in the future. I think that's one of the causes of why some of these updates blow up and are much more negatively received. Part of it is because we're all very excited. When the system's announced, we're thinking of how good the system could be. But then when we actually get our hands on the system, we see, wow, this has some very serious drawbacks and problems. And it hits so much harder because a lot of us were so much more excited for that. Also, whenever you're adding a new system into the game, try to make sure players can immediately use that system and enjoy it. The problem with this system right here is most of us want those golden reliquaries, but we know we're not going to be able to touch them for over a month. So essentially, this update is adding content into the game that we can't engage with until after other updates already come through. So essentially, even though you added a bunch of content into the game, which is great, this shop overall will be a positive improvement to the game. The epic relics overall are going to be a positive improvement for the game as well. Adding them into the game and then not letting us actually interact or use any of these are terrible. I think it is rather comparable to when you add champions into the game. No, we aren't going to be able to get all the champions right away, but normally we can unlock at least one of the champions, start playing with them, start interacting with the new content. Here though, even though you did something great, it feels more like a slap in the face since we can't actually enjoy any of the new content and we won't be able to for a very long time. I know you said you wanted other ways to get Stardust to also be in the game, and that fell through. I think you probably should have just done a very simple quest of go into Path of Champions and play a couple matches and get one golden reliquary, just so that players can interact with the system, just get one epic relic and have a positive feeling about the content, and then they can work on grinding towards getting all the rest. This would also be a great way to introduce people into the system and make them instantly value it as a great addition into the game, instead of most players feeling bitter about it and upset about the update overall. This update should have just been a massive win for the game. This is essentially fixing one of the biggest issues this game has had since the beginning, which is the fact you couldn't directly buy relics. And that once you had all the champions maxed out, there was nothing for you to spend any currencies on. So this update is a massive improvement to the game, and yet because of its delivery, most of the player base is very, very upset. I know you developers are trying to make the best game possible. I know you're strained for resources, but you still have to do better. A lot of us feel bad for you. A lot of us wish this game had much more resources and you didn't have such a small team. But a lot of the issues here are just on delivering the content, not an issue with the content itself necessarily. I hope this feedback is able to make its way to you devs, and I hope it at all helps you. I want this game to be the best game that it can be, and I hope that my videos can help make that a possibility. I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend.